It's a trap, you walk right into the hate. All over a new king that's face is just replaced. It's all the same, you still be ruled by force. And no matter who it is, they'll still carry on the torch. Just a lie, cheat, steal, half of what you make. Taxation is steps, it's time to vacate the state. Newsflash, all your cash is an IOU. From killers who really do steal from you. Inflation is a weapon used by every nation who says that they're saving the world through lies. That they disguise and pass off as bravery. Well, I got news, debt is slavery. It don't matter who's madder, a new master don't matter. When they both want the same, the state don't play no games. They got you trying to survive and put you on sides and ready to kill each other. That's conquer and divide. It's all for show, or for hyper control.
That's a fucking due to technical difficulties. We missed an episode, boy.
And we're back with another episode of Bones. Yeah, our last episode, the file was corrupted when my podcasting partner went to edit it.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's a great day.
It is. It's great.
It's a great day off.
Yeah, it was a good episode, too.
I know.
That's
We
the
both,
crummy part.
at the end of it, gave each other a psychic fist bump.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll never know that because...
So we're back, and hopefully this one you guys can listen to. Because people did ask what had happened, because there was no episode last week. And because of our busy schedules, we really didn't have the time to upload or do a new one. But we're here for you this week to bring you everything you want to hear and more.
We're back with a fresh new SD card, fully reformatted, ready to get it after it. You know, get in there deep.
Yes.
I just got a message. We'll wait for that. Anyway, check us out on Instagram.
Instagram.com/Bones and Tubs.
Facebook, Twitter.
Facebook.com/Bones
/Bones and Tubs.
/Bones and Tubs.
Twitter at Bones Tubs.
Bones
Cash
Tubs.
App, $ Bones Tubs. All that. So, get that mildly out of the way. Patreon.com/Bones and Tubs. Now we're going to get into what could be the start of World War III.
Yeah, so earlier today, a explosion occurred in Beirut, which is in Lebanon, for those of you who, it's been years since you took geography. And if you haven't seen the footage yet, I suggest you go see it. Now, by the time you listen to this, it's a couple days old. And earlier, after it happened, we were talking about it, and my podcasting partner postulated the question, well, what does this even mean? To which I responded that this is one of those situations where I conjured up the ghost of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and said that the assassination of a minor dignitary by a non-affiliated person.
I believe he called him an anarchist.
Yes. Jump-started, up to that date, the bloodiest war in human history. So, that being said, it's hard to see the forest for the trees when it comes to things like this.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it could be something. It could be nothing. I'm honestly, it's hard to tell. I mean, but if you watch the explosion, the initial reports of it were from a fireworks factory. Now, if you watch in the first bits, there is an initial explosion, right? And it seems to be that there are, in fact, fireworks going off around the scene, right?
There were definitely fireworks. But what was not a firework was that giant mushroom cloud that happened.
Yes. After the initial explosion, there is a secondary explosion that is catastrophically larger than the first one. So large, in fact, that I would go on to say it reminded me of footage of smaller armed nuclear weapons, i.e. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and so on and so forth.
I believe you referred to it as a dirty bomb.
Dirty bomb, a small tactical nuke, backpack
suitcase,
bomb.
Backpack, one of those jobs.
Something along those lines. Not a big boy like we have now, but there were reports up to 10 kilometers away of windows being smashed. I'm sorry, but you could have a literal 1,000-gallon tank full of black powder and it wouldn't explode like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not in that way. That shit was crazy. And I saw it from like 4 or 5 different angles. It was a TikTok video that had the first one that everybody saw, one from a completely different building, and then one from what appeared to be a waterway. And then there was another one from the waterway, stationary. And all of them got knocked back, regardless of distance.
Yeah, you literally watch the buildings around it, just like, it looks like they just disintegrated. I don't know. I mean, I'm no expert, as you all know. But I'm pretty sure I know what it looks like when a small tactical device goes off, whether it be nuclear or otherwise.
Yeah.
Also today, apparently, in other parts of the world, in North Korea and China, there were other explosions that went off.
I'm trying to get a video right now, the one in China. Did you see that one yet?
No.
JNY5, or JNY5 Internet Studios, also Mr. Nameboy.
Oh, the guy that makes our artwork for the shows?
That guy.
Yeah.
You should check him out on Instagram. And definitely check out all that he sells, because he's got that fire. But anyway, he was talking to me a few minutes ago, and he said that he thinks China's look like a direct energy weapon.
So what we talked about, many episodes ago.
Right. What normally hits California this time of year that hasn't happened yet with the forest fires.
Oh, so are we talking about like a direct energy weapon? Like a microwave weapon?
Direct energy weapon is what he called it.
Okay.
So I asked him if he had a video to show that. I have not got a response yet.
Okay. Well, there's that, and then we all
know there's probably not a video from North Korea.
Yeah, well, no. We also talked about the possibility of just like back in 2012 in China when that chemical factory exploded.
The one in Tianjin where the supercomputer was that attacked our stock market?
The one that chances are we dropped the fucking tungsten rod on it.
The rod of God, if you will.
The rod of God that disintegrated upon impact and completely obliterated the facility.
It's a tungsten rod shot from a satellite. For those of you not in the know, check it out.
Yeah, and also the science side, tungsten is one of the hardest alloys or hardest metals made. I don't know if it's an alloy or metal.
It was a stone.
Let's call it an alloy.
We got Google.
Okay.
What is tungsten? I don't want to lose that. Tungsten, or wolfram, is a chemical element with a symbol W and an atomic number of 74. The name tungsten comes from the former Swedish name for the tungstate mineral scheelite. Tungsten, which means heavy stone, is identified as a new element in 1781 and first isolated as a metal in 1783.
Okay, so it is a metal.
Boom.
All right, so tungsten is very strong, and it also is very super conductive. So when it hits the atmosphere, all that energy, all that heat energy that it goes through as it's hitting the atmosphere, charges it up. It makes it very, very hot.
They say it hits just like a nuclear bomb without the radioactive afterplay.
No, and virtually no evidence that it actually was there in the first place because it doesn't hit anything. It literally explodes before. I mean, once it hits solid matter, it explodes.
When robots grab you, you can't get away.
Because they're strong.
They use your medicine for fuel.
Yes. I didn't know if you all knew that or not.
Somebody shared a video earlier about this is before the explosion came out. They were talking about nuclear bombs and their effect, and they're like, well, I mean, if nuclear bombs are even real. And
we've talked about that on the show before.
That punched me right in the gooch again, because I was like, God damn it, we've already had this show. Like, why are we talking about this now?
I think
we did that like 2 years ago, didn't we?
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I came out on the conclusion that, once again, this failed the, well, it needs a name. It's the Tubbs equation.
They made a good point, though, that I'm not sure that we made in that show. And I'm all about correcting our position if it's wrong.
Yeah.
But is it strange that, like, we dropped those bombs and they literally moved right back into those areas with no ill effect?
Well, that's actually, I'm not a scientist, but I can explain that.
Can you?
Yes, I can.
What about Chernobyl?
Okay. Well, there you go. That was going to be part of the example.
Okay.
Okay, hear me out on this.
Let's learn something.
All right, so in a fusion reaction, right, we're talking about a piece of whatever we're using. Let's say uranium, plutonium, right? We're talking about a very small amount.
Yeah.
But because you're...
In the Fat Man and Big Boy?
Yeah, well, let's say that, or any other, even the tactical devices we have now, it's not a large amount, right? We're talking a very small amount of material, right? Very strong material, though.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not, the blast itself isn't actually, like, I mean, it is created by those elements, but it's the sheer force that is exerted outward that causes the destruction. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, there is initial residual radiation from those, but because the reason why Chernobyl is so bad is because we're talking about an entire meltdown of a series of giant fucking uranium rods, like huge amounts of material. That was like a slow, dirty burn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus one initial explosion. It just it doesn't work out the same way. Now, that's like I said, it's not to say that there isn't residual radioactivity, but it's not like Chernobyl or things of that nature.
Okay.
I'm not a scientist. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, you go ahead and correct me.
Hashtag not a scientist.
But I believe like that's the reasoning behind that.
This says the little boy and the fat man were atomic bombs or fission bombs, which set off a chain reaction of
Fission, not fusion.
nuclear fission. The atomic nuclei of radioactive materials were split to create different elements, which releases a large amount of energy, splitting more atoms as a result of producing a destructive explosion. In the little boy, a bullet-like projectile made of uranium-235 was fired at a core of the same substance and set off a chain reaction. The fat man, on the other hand, was a core of plutonium-239 and was ignited with thousands of pounds of conventional explosives, again setting off a chain reaction. In a thermonuclear weapon, which I'm not sure if suitcase bombs are considered that, often called a hydrogen bomb, the fission process is only the beginning. Modern nuclear weapons, such as the United States B-83 bombs, use a similar fission process to what is used in atomic bombs, but the initial energy is then ignited. Shut up, motherfucker. Is then ignites a fusion reaction in a secondary core of hydrogen isotopes deuterium and tritium. The nuclei of the hydrogen atoms fuse together to form a helium. It doesn't compare. I was trying to compare a suitcase bomb to those because I always wondered like how those worked versus the ones that we actually dropped.
Okay, so
do you think they're more advanced in the way of damage, or do you think they're less?
Well, we're talking about suitcase bombs and
Yeah,
stuff?
like a dirty bomb.
Less,
the ones
but,
that
but that's here's the thing.
got sold from Russia.
Less in the sense of destruction, but in
Still
those cases
devastating.
with the smaller bombs, I think you might have more residual radiation left over from those.
The dirty process.
Yeah, because it's not as precise. But back to the original thing.
Yeah.
The whole notion that nuclear bombs don't exist does not pass the Tubbs equation. Now, those of you who've listened to the show before, this is actually the first time I'm naming said equation, but it's the algorithm my brain processes conspiracy theories with, to determine whether or not how viable it is to actually be legitimate, right? So, take for example the flat Earth thing. I determined myself I don't believe that the Earth is flat because it require thousands upon thousands of people to be on a conspiracy together, and my belief in humanity is that the more people involved, the more likely that it would be exposed as a conspiracy. So in that case, with the flat Earth, it would take. I mean, I think they interviewed a flat earther once, and this guy who was interviewing him said, "So you're telling me that 72,000 people worldwide who work in all fields of astrophysics." But that's not to say there's not things they're not telling us.
No, they're definitely lying to you about most of it.
But the whole Earth is flat thing, because then I also postulated, I was like, not just modern. I was like, the Greeks figured out the Earth was round.
Right.
With just simple science.
While they were fucking children.
Yeah. Pedestry.
Yeah. That's why Tom Hanks moved there and got a fucking island.
Pedestry, not pedophilia, but they're still it's still wrong.
My
but
bad. Yeah.
Let's differentiate.
They just needed to teach.
I had to actually, Okay, so but the thing is that with the whole nuclear bombs not being real thing, it would require a lot of people being in coercion with each other. And not only that, let's take into account not just a lot of people at odds with each other.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
trying to get that.
By that logic, let's expand. I don't like to go off the rails here, but let's expand that notion that nuclear bombs aren't real out into, because you can't just have that one section and say, this is how it is. No, you have to expand it. So let's take into effect the Cold War, right?
Right.
You had to have these two countries who are at odds with each other. over political ideologies, both being in on the fact that it wasn't real.
Right.
Right? I don't believe that. Too many people involved for it not to be real. Now, like I said, I always apply this equation to every conspiracy. That's why, like, things involving, like, say, like Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why
the guy that didn't kill himself.
The reason why I believe, like, that there is an elite group of pedophiles is because they all have something to lose from outing each other.
Yeah.
Right. That's the reason I think the coercion exists, right? That, and they have some sort of collective belief in something. Now, what that is exactly, people can only speculate and postulate what exactly they believe in that brings them to do these heinous things. But I do believe in that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I would say anybody that disagrees with you should take your comment once it is fully and finally crafted and take it over to youtube.com/Bones and Tub Show. Put it on the comment section of this video, and we will both engage you.
Yeah, it's just like with
in a healthy debate.
Yeah, I think with the whole Tubbs algorithm, the Tubbs equation, whatever you want to call it. I think it
sounds like you're sucking your own dick there.
No, first of all, I'm going to name it after me because I think it's a well thought out ideology, right? It's I figured it out through the process of the trivium, so I feel like it is a good thing, and I'm going to name it after me.
I just said it before anybody else could.
Well, that's okay. So, listen, I don't blow smoke up my own ass often. But
and you should.
It fermented in the 9/11 conspiracy.
Yeah.
Because I concluded that for the 9/11 conspiracy to actually happen, maximum amount of people that were in the know without just doing their jobs and not asking questions could be under 24 people.
Yeah, was that when we did our show on it?
Yes.
And we talked about the CIA leaker.
Yeah,
who was the first female to get arrested under the Patriot Act?
Yeah, 24 people. Like, that's not a lot of people to be involved in a plan that they're all gonna like benefit from.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
How many of those people you think got killed afterwards too?
Oh, probably most of them.
I assume they mopped it up pretty well.
So, if anybody out there, when you're looking through these conspiracies, because I think some of them are just thrown out there to kind of throw a wrench in the works and to kind of gum things up.
Yeah.
Kind of like Flat Earth. I think that's used as a means to make people look stupid. Make conspiracy theorists look
let's
stupid.
not talk about the Van Allen radiation belt that they're having trouble putting a machine through, but let's talk about the fact that you think the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
It's a distraction.
Yeah, let's argue about something that the geeks
Get out of here, nerd.
Let's argue about something that the Greeks figured out thousands of years ago.
Instead
of arguing about the fact that we've lied about how far into space we've actually gone, because they keep changing their plans as to how like you said, the Van Allen radiation belts, right?
Right.
Supposedly we passed through them multiple times
in the 60s.
Yes, in the 60s with old tech.
Yeah, and now we can't send a robot through.
Yeah,
to Mars. Anyway, but this is a prison planet controlled by Saturn, the linchpin, we've done an episode, check out Sounds of Saturn. But I don't know, man, like you said, we'll go back to the topic. I think that they are definitely, I'm still waiting on this video, I haven't seen it yet, but if this is going on in 3 places on one day, that's an orchestrated hit. Yeah,
and it's like I said before, I was like, these kind of situations, it's hard to see the forest through the trees, because, the thing is and I just hypothesized here. It's not that I know for sure. I was like, imagine, if you will, it was found out that was straight up sabotage, right?
Yeah.
Now, take it a step further. Who was the saboteur? You find out it was a Saudi national.
Yeah.
Right? Or a CIA operative. Or anything like that.
Anyone with a nationality to tie blame to.
Or somebody from Mossad. It would create a chain reaction that could quite possibly send us into war.
You want to watch this?
Yes.
All right, I just found it. It's on Twitter. I searched through JNY5 on Instagram, JNY5 Internet Studios. He said, check out Twitter. There's multiple videos. So I typed in Chinese explosion into the search bar. That's big as fuck and bright as fuck.
Yeah. Where was this? Is this Reset?
Yeah, this is the one in China. Why are they fucking laughing?
Also, why are they talking in English?
Well, they were talking in English in the Beirut video also. And again, goddamn, son. Jesus, fuck. That's definitely an energy weapon.
So,
I'm going to go against hope. I know there's not a video from North Korea, but I'm going to look. I'm going to do my due diligence.
oh, you know there's not. There might have never been an explosion. Half the time when things happen there, we just base it off of, like, readings from other countries. You know what I mean? Like, when they do, like, an underground nuclear test or something like that, and, you know, it makes the Richter scale hiccup, and we're like, oh, they did another one. You know, like, that's all about you. Like, yeah, I think they said the other day they were just dealing with their first case of COVID-19.
Oh, yeah, their first one?
Their very first one.
Really? Okay, that's cool. I've known people that got it, and they told me it was like a cold. So, I mean, we had this shit. I had it back in February.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure North Korea... I mean, I get it, though. They're a very strong communist economy and government.
Yeah.
Like, they probably didn't have any.
It's not like they have, like, fake cities and buildings and fake grocery stores.
No. They've seized the means of production, okay?
It's not like any person that goes and visits has to have a handler.
If I had seized the means of production, I would not have gotten this fake or whatever it is bioweapon back in February.
And you're not allowed to, you know, bring in any religious materials with you. And if you do, you can be arrested. Or, you know, even, you know, try to take down a banner as a souvenir, because then you're going to end up getting botulism in prison and die.
Well, here's a video. Massive explosion. God, fuck off. Massive explosion in North Korea leaves 9 dead and dozens injured after gas leak in a house. So this might not be the same thing. But this was in the same time frame.
It's a hell of a gas leak.
You're goddamn right. Did you see that last one?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. It's still going.
So, 3 different places, 3 large explosions.
So what is the end game?
Well, we don't know.
What allegiance? I mean, I get North Korea and China, they're aligned, but what about Beirut? What's going on over there? Whose allegiance?
Who knows, man? Who knows? Like I said,
Shit makes me
you know,
sweaty.
when you're talking about fucking 4D, 5D, fucking 20D
Chessboard, yeah.
you don't know, like, where the next move's going to be or why it happened.
I like to
you know
think
what I mean?
that direct energy weapon was dropped by Jeffrey Epstein himself.
It reminds me of season 3 of Westworld. Spoiler alert for anybody out there. Basically, part of the premise of that season is that outside of Westworld, basically the whole of human civilization is controlled by an AI algorithm that determines what it considers the best possible outlook for humanity. So everything is...
So it's like real world.
Well, and yeah, but to an extent where, like, so it directs you into what careers you have and stuff like that, and it actually it makes it tells the people in charge who to get rid of because they're variables in the equation,
And you don't need variables.
they're unknown variables, right? So that's what it makes me think of, like that there's somebody somewhere or something that is just like they have an inside track as to, it's kind of a butterfly effect thing where they know, like, this is the trajectory. We want this to happen now because this is the trajectory we want to occur, right?
Yeah.
That's the level they're on. So they're like, you know, you think this stuff's happening in real time, and, you know, whether it be a terrorist group or what terrorist group, I put that in quotation marks.
Air quotes, heavy.
Whoever's actually in charge, they're already like 30 steps ahead of us.
Right.
We're on step 2 of 30. You know what I mean? And when we get to step 20, they're on step they've planned all the way to step 60, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
Just realize that what's it called? It's a problem reaction solution.
Yeah.
So anytime, like, I mean, I just saw a video not that long ago from the World Health Organization where they were talking about the COVID response, and they said we've been planning for this for 50 years.
Yeah.
You've literally you admitted it. You've been planning this for 50 years.
There was literally an article an opinion piece that Dr. Fauci wrote in 2017 saying that Donald Trump was going to have to deal with a pandemic. So they've been slowly.
They're more accurate than the Simpsons.
They've been feeding us that for a while now, right?
Yeah, one shape or form.
Yeah, it kind of goes into the segue into the next thing I wanted to discuss, and that was the whole, I guess, the extended video of the incident with George Floyd was released, and I guess it
proves that it was an occult sacrifice.
Yes.
So they drugged him, and then they murdered him slowly, or didn't murder him.
See, the thing is sometimes ritual sacrifices, I put that in quotation marks, necessarily don't have to end in someone's death. It just has to symbolically represent.
Well, think
their
about
death.
the third degree of Freemasonry. We've talked about that before, where you're ritualistically killed and then risen again through the lion's grip, pulled back up, and you're reborn. Mm-hmm. You know, shout out Hiram above.
Yeah.
Hiram abiff. I mean, that's a Masonic thing right there. And I'm sure there's kneeling involved in one of those rituals.
Because, I mean, we've talked about it before with the whole George Floyd thing is why when the paramedics showed up, they were police officers.
Yeah, they're cops. And they didn't set up a crime scene?
Yeah. Why is it that, like, when they were taking footage, supposedly the same footage everybody else was taking, they take it across the street, there's no one on that sidewalk next to them, but there's also footage from that sidewalk?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I'm not going to debate whether or not George Floyd was killed because, generally speaking, if he wasn't killed then, he was killed later.
Did you see the story from his attorney where he said he died 3 years ago?
Yeah. So,
there's a lot of funny business.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Like, and it's the same thing with, like, you know, right after Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, you're like, he's probably in fucking Tel Aviv right now. And I was like, nah, he's probably dead.
Yeah.
They don't like loose ends.
Mark Passio said it the only way I could understand. Mm-hmm. I think we talked about it in the episode that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But they probably broke him out. It was probably Mossad or, you know, the United States intelligence agencies. They took him to a satanic ritual chamber that are all, you know, they're all across the country. Mm-hmm. Took him to one, slit his throat, pulled his tongue through the hole, and then left him there in the Christ position. And then they allowed everyone else involved. They're like, hey, see this? This is what happens when you fucking talk.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That to me seems more logical than him. I mean, I'm not going to say he's not hanging out on Tom Hanks' pedo island in Greece. He might be. Yeah, but it's more likely than not that he
that was something else that got lost in the last episode because we talked about that whole chestnut too.
Yeah. The reason why he went to Greece?
Yeah, because
non-extradition.
I don't want to get into it too much because unfortunately that episode's just lost to the ages.
Well, we got to put it out now, right?
But, you know, we didn't get to talk, well, we did get to talk about it, but we didn't with you guys. So, if you don't know already, Tom Hanks, I guess he gained Greek citizenship. Now, the thing is after it happened, you know, I, of course, saw it and I was like, that's kind of weird. So then the first thing I typed in the DuckDuckGo was, what's extradition law in Greece like? And because, you know, he's been implicated with Jeffrey Epstein and all that other stuff.
Pedophilia.
And Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
And according to what I found, a Greek citizen cannot be extradited on U.S. charges. Yeah.
Shock face.
So basically speaking, now that he's a Greek citizen, even if they bring charges up on him for anything, he cannot be extradited to the United States because he is a Greek citizen now.
Did he renounce his United States citizenship?
Doesn't matter. He's a Greek citizen.
Oh, okay. So that
even
trumps,
if he's
trumps it all. Donald Trump.
Even if he's a dual citizen, it doesn't matter because he can't be extradited.
I wonder how many people. I bet Ellen goes to Greece next. Maybe Oprah. You think?
He goes to Greece, and not only that, there is the aspect of in Greece, pedophilia is considered a disability. Not a crime. Okay. Well, I mean, it's probably still a crime, but it's like a differently treated crime because it's a disability.
Disability. They didn't mean to. It's not their fault.
It seems very coincidental.
Do you believe in coincidence?
No, I don't.
Okay, me either.
Yeah. That all those things would happen involving Tom Hanks. And, you know, of course, people have been doing the good work for a while when it came to that, you know, pointing out weird, suspicious things involving, like, when him and his wife were being supposedly quarantined in Australia for COVID and they came home. But for some reason, the pictures they were taking looked like they were taken with a green screen.
The one where she had her phone out and it was definitely a green screen. You could see her room that she was in the background of her glasses.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So those are all things. You know what I mean? We talked about that on the last episode extensively. And it kind of irks me that we lost all that.
Yeah, I mean, tell me about it. Because I was the one up, late at night, trying my witchcraft.
Back to George Floyd. I guess that when they came out with the extended footage, right? And they also came out with his toxicology report. And either this dude likes to party or he was drugged.
I'm going to go with the latter. I'm sure he liked to party because who doesn't, but...
Yeah, that was probably the THC in his system, was the party. But methamphetamine, fentanyl, raw fentanyl.
Yeah.
Like, those aren't easy, those aren't soft party drugs by any means.
No, you're not just trying to walk around the street on some...
Apparently he wanted to be
meth,
wet. He wanted to be wet, Damn,
I didn't know you like to get wet, though.
I mean, I'm just saying. So, is it a possibility that they drugged him and then proceeded to do all those things?
Right.
Because he was drugged, and that's what ultimately probably what killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, fentanyl is deadly.
True story.
And I'm sure it also makes you fucking go crazy before you die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that meth, goddamn.
Yeah.
Just a quick sidebar. I saw this meme sent to us by the El Presidente.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of a story I saw the other day, which I want to talk to you about, which can help us lead into the madness of the media.
Yeah.
For our next topic. But this meme is Dr. Anthony Fakey.
Mm-hmm.
Fake doctor.
Yeah.
Raw dogging strangers is the best way to build your immune system. Now, I was in the living room the other day, sitting, speaking after I saw this news story out loud, and then engaged toe beans in this conversation. A California health official said that the best way to have sex to prevent the spread of COVID. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
You sitting down?
Yeah.
Can you guess? Glory hole.
They did that. That's in Canada, too.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
So we've got that going for the fake media, talking about this madness. And then we have the next topic. And I would like to say, after, if you're cool with it, I got a few messages we need to read.
Okay, all right.
But the next topic is math is racist.
Okay, so...
And this almost made me fight Tubbs.
Yeah. For no reason. Now, it's not like I was, against
You're
him.
very convincing about your support of it.
It's just, I'm trying to, I had... Sometimes when something comes across my desk, I like to figure out, I try to get into these people's minds.
Their air quotes logic.
Like a proverbial Will Graham, in Hannibal.
Yeah.
I try to see their design, right?
I get it.
And see it from their point of view. Yeah, it's empathy. You're trying, you have to practice empathy, right?
For sure.
So I try to get inside their heads. Well, this started this morning. I saw it exploded on Twitter over the last couple of days. I guess there's just this giant...
Do you know the hashtag?
I don't have a hashtag for it, no. There's just... If you look it up on DuckDuckGo or Google, and just put 2 + 2 = 5, I'm sure you could find the whole dialogue, right? So, let me break this down. Basically, there's this been big fiery debate going on right now about how... the notion that 2 + 2 = 4 is Western ethnocentric white nationalist supremacist garbage, right?
Yeah.
And they postulated is 2 + 2 = 5. Now, the reason behind this backward logic is that they're saying that by saying 2 + 2 = 4, you're saying you're giving these symbols a equivalence, right? Like you're saying that 2 is 2.
Yeah.
Right? When 2 can in fact be 2.5.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I guess.
I tried to explain it with pets earlier. I don't know if it worked too well.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying when you're saying that you might have 3 cats and 2 dogs, right? But to me, if we're talking about regular math and we're just counting units,
Just units,
which is math,
Yes.
the counting phrase that they're using when they say 2 + 2 is 5, which makes no sense because that's straight out of Orwell.
Yeah, as I say, I don't know. It's like I almost want to think they're just trying to be ironic and they're trying to fuck with our heads on this one
I think they are.
because, like,
That's crazy.
well, but that's the thing though. You've got these like, I mean, there were people in this dialogue that are like,
Well, I'm sure they're vehemently behind it.
they're like math experts. Like these are mathematicians, and they're trying to back these people up on it. And it's like, no, you don't have. Okay, let's say in your hypothetical philosophical math world, like that should be a thing, right?
Yeah.
You can go ahead and debate these things, right?
Yeah.
But for laymen, right, we don't have to know that there's a possibility that 2 could be 2.5.
Well, you don't need to know the quality of the unit you're counting. You're counting units, motherfuckers. Like, Jesus
Exactly.
Christ, right?
Like, we're not all going into, math, philosophy, and gender studies. Okay, and that's
Yeah.
really what it boils down to.
yeah,
Is that
it's the next phase. I tell you, it's prophetic that I fucking started listening to Michael Savage again.
yeah,
Because all this shit that we're talking about right now, he pointed out in the early 2000s, maybe the 90s, in his book, Liberalism is a Mental Disorder. And I'm not here, if you're new to the show, you should know that neither of us are on that left-right paradigm.
no,
We ain't on that bullshit. I'm not talking shit about the lefties just because I'm a righty. But it is a mental disorder. This is all proof positive. Everything we've talked about. Glory holes being the only way to have safe sex during COVID. Fucking math. 2 + 2 = 17. Like, suck my asshole.
Not only that, saying that 2 + 2 = 4 is racist. That's some crazy.
Bring some race into math.
Yeah, here's the
How
thing.
about that?
Okay, here's the thing about it though is, let's go back to, this is another algorithm I have, but it's not I'm not going to call this the Tubbs equation, right? I already have one named after me for that,
Yeah.
right? So let's give this a different
Did
name.
you TM it?
Oh, it's TM.
TM.
I TM'd it with
Like
Toe
that?
Beans the other day. She can vouch.
All right.
Okay, so let's call this the we could call it the Bones and Tubbs equation.
Okay.
Okay, does that sound better?
2 + 2 =.
Oh my God!
Listen, man, I edit the show.
You
Don't
just scared me with
you
that.
get nervous. This
Okay.
isn't live.
I know it's not live, but it's still, you're making me sweat now.
I'm gonna add a SpongeBob dolphin noise in there, and no one will know what I said.
Okay, so
I'm the proverbial god of this. Let's
anyways,
both suck our own dicks for a minute.
so the Bones and Tubbs equation, right?
Yeah.
Being that the most logical answer to something is the one that requires the least amount of mental gymnastics.
Right.
Right. So, according to the Bones and Tubbs equation, 2 + 2 = 4. And you know what? I didn't have to do a single bit of gymnastics to explain that to anybody. But guess what? If I want to say 2 + 2 = 5, I've got to write you a paragraph. And for a layman, I might have to write you a whole
Dissertation.
a dissertation about why 2 + 2 = 5 to explain my mental gymnastics as to why that works, or explain to you how 2 + 2 = 4 is racist.
Yeah.
Like, I have to write a fucking editorial about how math can be racist. Like, please, no. Okay. 2 + 2 = 4. What? Ta-da! I just did.
What are you? Are you a witch?
I literally jumped off the little springy thing that the gymnasts jump off of.
Yeah.
And I was done.
Straight over the pole vault.
Done. And you know what? 10.
Yeah.
Perfect score.
I'm over there holding up an 11. I don't know if you saw that.
It required no effort on my part.
Oh, it's crazy. Can we just go ahead and recommend the book by George Orwell, or AKA Eric Blair, 1984?
Yes.
You used to, when I found out about it, and I'm sure at the same time when you found out about it, and you went and bought it at a bookstore when those were a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they exist anymore due to COVID.
Yeah.
But you used to be able to go to a bookstore and like look in a section.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was like fiction, right? It's not fiction anymore. You might find George Orwell's 1984 in the nonfiction section.
Yeah.
This shit was written in what, the 40s?
Yeah, like 47, 48, somewhere in there.
They had to rename it because they were uncomfortable with how early they made these projections.
Yeah.
So they named it something like 1950 something, but then they had to rename it 1984.
Its original title was The Last Man in England.
Okay. Well, I heard there was a date change.
Yeah, it probably was.
But check it out. I would start in the fiction, but I mean, look in the nonfiction if you can't find it, and then read that book, and then apply that filter that you gain from reading that book to today's society, because we literally just named a news story that has everything to do with Big Brother in that book.
Yeah.
That's where we're at now.
Yeah. And, just changing the names and titles and things like we were talking about earlier with the whole, it color us crazy because people keep saying we're crazy. But they are trying to groom the next generation into thinking that pedophilia isn't wrong.
Wrong? Yeah.
Yes.
It's rape.
Yes.
It's rape of a child.
It's rape of a child. Once again, let me express the equation real quick. Ta-da!
Don't have sex
It
with
required
children.
so little. Required so little on my part.
Yeah.
Because why? Why is it so wrong?
Because it's the truth.
Well, what? But and this is my ta-da. A child can't consent to anything.
Right. Because they're children. Now, take it back to check out Mark Pascal if you're new to the show and you're not hip to it. Hold on, sidebar. I got a Snapchat earlier from Big Baby, our dude, who's been listening to us for a long time.
Yeah.
Shout out Big Baby.
Big Baby.
But he was showing me, and I didn't understand it because I watched it backwards somehow, but he had a notebook, right, and it's on his table, and it's filled with notes. And then he flips the page filled with notes. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
So then I went back and looked, and he was talking about watching Mark Pascal's Divine Feminine. And he was like, I'm dead ass taking notes on this shit. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Anyway, everybody needs to do that. Everybody needs to check out Mark Pascal. So we're going to go through these messages.
Okay.
If you're cool with that. We have a meme here sent to us by, once again, El Presidente.
Nice.
It's Dr. Fauci with his finger up. Okay? Effective tomorrow, you must all use lubricant and insert one finger into your rectum at all times in public to prevent the spread of COVID. 2 days later, you got a fat boy with his hand in his ass at a Walmart or somewhere, and then two people in a lubricant line with their hands in their asshole. Because that's where we're at right now. We have literally multiple countries.
And if you were walking around the store without your finger up your ass,
people shamed you.
They'd be like, "You selfish piece of shit!
Put your finger in your ass."
Jesus Christ! What are you doing? Are you trying to kill me?
Yeah.
Are you trying to kill me?
Yeah. Say it like Mickey Mouse on meth. Hey there, Tom. You're trying to kill me by not putting your finger in your asshole.
You selfish piece of shit!
Why don't you grab me by the ears next time while you fuck me?
Make sure you use a glory hole, though.
Yeah, you got to use a glory hole and no condom. But you can shit in the streets. That's fine. You can drop your drug needles in the streets. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm off topic.
You digress.
I digress. We have another meme. Once again, another Presidente. It's a man with a flaming hot erection. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a thermal image, and it says the last thing the Fed sees in the infrared before the flashbang.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of digging this like best messages of the week thing.
Yeah, me too.
We might have to just start doing.
We just have so many, and my week.
Well, we're gonna have to dilute. You know what I mean?
No, I mean,
I'm not saying you could read every message you want right now, but if we start, because when we say, "Hey, we're gonna read your messages on the air," people are just gonna start sending real dumb shit to us.
No, that's
so
fine.
We're gonna have to.
You're only gonna get through if it's real quality, true quality.
Just a slight filter on that.
I would like to use the same filter as once again the great God Mark Pascal, who I hope to have on the show one day.
Yeah,
would say, you can't live your truth. There is no when in Rome as the Romans do. You have to live the truth.
Yeah, there is but the truth.
The great work. So don't send us nonsense.
Yes.
But, I mean, these are memes, and they're nonsense, and you get it.
Memes are irreverent.
If you fill your bong with rainwater, it's twice as illegal.
True story.
You son of a bitch, I'm in. Rick and Morty.
Oh, man.
There was one in here that was directly sent to you, and I cannot for the life of me find it. I even screenshot it, and it's not my screenshot folder. Some stripper shit. I'm not sure where that came.
Did you send it to me, maybe?
I think so. I want to say I sent it to you on Messenger.
Backtrack this.
We got 3 more 5-star reviews on iTunes this week, and the shirts are en route.
Wesley, you sent me. No, are you talking about text?
I don't know. I try to send everything over Messenger.
Wait a minute. I think I No, I sent that. Hold on.
Here's-
I sent this to you. It just made me laugh.
Yeah,
again.
that's a good one. You should read it.
Okay, so some of you out there, now
It's humor.
it's humor. Just fucking laugh. Don't be fucking
For
triggered.
being a pussy.
Okay. Because, we roll in these circles.
It's
And
a-
I found this and I was like, you know what? I was like, you know who think this is funny?
Yeah.
My podcasting partner.
It's that what is it, astronaut or astronaut? Is
yeah.
that what it's called?
No, okay, so
Astronaut?
if you've seen the meme, it's two astronauts and they're like in space and
Yeah.
one's holding a gun to the other one's head.
One's looking at the
And
Earth.
one's looking at Earth. The original meme was like the Earth and it was all one giant Ohio. And and the astronaut's like, wait, it's all Ohio? And the guy behind him's like, always has been.
Yeah, about to blow his
Yeah,
brains
about to
out.
blow his brains out, and he has an Ohio flag on his astronaut
Yeah.
suit.
Yeah.
Okay, but this one is so it's the Earth, and then you have like an Antifa symbol, Black Power symbol, the rainbow flag, the trans flag, BBC, CNN, Google, YouTube, the United Nations, the Soviet flag, the fucking EU flag, the E pluribus unum, fucking Eye of Providence, all that shit.
Yeah.
And the astronaut says, wait, it's all Jews?
Got him.
And he's like, always has
Always
been.
has been, baby. Now I need you to collect.
It's a joke.
I need you to collect yourself.
Okay. All right.
Give me your. I need you to hit that spiritual stone. And I need you to be purely calm.
Okay.
Okay, imagine, if you will, when I was walking in Gatlinburg on my last trip, I was walking through a creek on a trail in the mountains.
Yes.
And somebody had stacked flat rocks.
Like a cairn.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, where it's just a stack of rocks.
Yeah,
It's
so
a cairn.
I thought you said a Karen, and it took me somewhere else.
No, not a cairn.
Not a Karen, but a Karen.
Cairn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So imagine you're that, and you're getting water rippled over you, and you're calm. You're still smiling. You need to calm down. Hit me with that straight-faced laughter, that kind of dead face. Now, I need you to not laugh at this meme. I can't do it. All right, it's a cat, and it's a white cat, okay? And it's got gray on it, but its gray is over both of its eyes. So it looks like it's got black eyes, or it's like a panda. Like the pedophiles use in the children's clothing to symbolize abused children. This says 40% of cops' wives be like, "Welcome home, honey."
Because cops beat their wives.
They do. 40% of them. Yeah, that's a disturbing amount. That comes from Jason Doby over there on Instagram.
That was good.
That was heavy.
That got me.
That's good.
Yeah, this dude. I've been friends with him for a while.
Should
He's
shout him
straight.
out.
He's straight fire, man.
Give him that love.
As a guy I've been friends with, started. We were both in a group. We're still both in a group. The Alt Left Empire, and they're like, don't get me wrong. I'm not alt left or anything. They're leftists who and they're leftists who are like they're not into the SJW shit.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
like they don't believe in that shit.
They're complaining that their movement has been hijacked.
Yes, by
Communists.
commies. Yes,
Who aren't human.
exactly. So,
Look it up.
but he's actually a really funny dude, and we communicate back and forth with likes and shares and things like that.
Lynn Davis on Instagram sent us a video on Instagram TV. It's titled, "He Can't Lie Because He's Under Oath. He Doesn't Want to Answer the Question." It's Fauci. And he's sworn in under oath before Congress, right?
Yeah.
And he's answering questions. These motherfuckers are calling him out like, how long does it take to make a safe and effective vaccine? And he's like, well, do it, advancements in science, a new vaccine. It's like, I said, how long on average does it take to make a safe and effective vaccine?
Yeah.
He's like, 7 years. They're about to make a mandatory vaccine for COVID, which they've never been able to make a COVID virus or COVID vaccine ever for any form of COVID at all.
Do you think that might
in less than a year?
Do you think that might finally be the straw that broke the camel's back?
It
for
has
some
to
people?
be, because I'll tell you what, I'm not taking another fucking shot.
No.
Not doing it.
Like for real, like is that going to be it? Is that going to be the end of it? Like when they say, okay, well, if you don't take it, you're not going to be able to go into this place or that place.
They're literally working on a digital tattoo. that's painless and you can't see without a special light.
Fuck that nonsense, man.
This is straight out of the Book of Revelations. I don't know if that shit's real, but I will say that they are using it like a fucking playbook.
Yeah. Well, who was it that
Can't
said,
buy or sell without your COVID vaccine, said Bill Gates.
who was it that said that the Bible is one of the oldest spell books? I can't remember who that was. That might have been in a movie. I don't fucking
that was
know.
some Higher Side Chat stuff.
Oh, was it?
I feel like it was.
I've heard it before. I mean, and I've heard people talk about why it's one of the oldest, like, it's a fucking, it's a, what they call that, a...
Grimoire? Yeah.
Or grimoire?
I think they call it a grimoire.
Grimoire? Okay.
I'm not a language scientist.
No, me neither.
But let's see. That's all we got here. I feel like we had something in Gmail. Let me check that real quick. All right, so you ready for this one?
Yeah, let's hear it.
This comes straight to our Gmail, boatsandtips@gmail.com, and it's from Skylar Tobin. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know your socials right off the top of my head, but if you send me a message, Skylar, and tell me what pages you want promoted, I will make a multi-post on our Instagram story. So hit me up. But she writes, Democrat Illinois State Representative Keith Farnham has resigned and was charged with possession of child pornography and has been accused of bragging at an online site about sexually molesting a 6-year-old girl. Democratic spokesperson from Arkansas Democratic Party, Harold Moody Jr., was charged with distribution and possession of child pornography. Democratic Radnor Township Board of Commissioners member Philip R., AHR, has resigned from his position after being charged with possession of child pornography and abusing children between the ages of 2 and 6. Democratic activist and Black Lives Matter organizer Charles Wade was arrested and charged with human trafficking and underage prostitution. Democratic Texas attorney and activist Mark Benavides was charged with having sex with a minor, inducing a child under 18 to have sex, and compelling prostitution of at least 9 legal clients and possession of child pornography. He was found guilty on 6 counts of sex trafficking. Democratic Virginia delegate Joe Morrissey was indicted on charges connected to his relationship with a 17-year-old girl and was charged with supervisory indecent liberties with a minor, electronic solicitation of a minor, possession of child pornography, and distribution of child pornography. Democratic Massachusetts Congressman Jerry Studs was censured by the House of Representatives after he admitted to an inappropriate relationship with a 17-year-old page. Democratic former mayor, Stillwater, New York, Rick Nelson, had pled guilty to 5 counts of possession of child pornography of children less than 16 years of age. Democratic former mayor of Clayton, New York, Dale Kenyon, was indicted for sexual acts against a teenager. Democratic former mayor of Hubbard, Ohio, Richard Keenan, was given a life sentence in jail for raping a 4-year-old girl. Democratic former mayor of Winston, Oregon, Kenneth Barrett, was arrested for setting up a meeting to have sex with a 14-year-old girl who turned out to be a police officer, who then shot his dog. Democratic former mayor of Randolph, Nebraska, Dwayne L. Schutt, was arrested and charged with 4 counts of felony third-degree sexual assault of a child and 1 count of intentional child abuse. Democratic former mayor of Dawson, Georgia, Christopher Wright, was indicted on charges of aggravated child molestation, aggravated sodomy, rape, and child molestation, and statutory rape of an 11-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl. Democratic former mayor of Stockton, California, Anthony Silva, was charged with providing alcohol to young adults and playing a game of strip poker that included a 16-year-old boy at a camp of underprivileged children run by the mayor. Democratic former mayor of Millbrook, New York, Donald Briggs, was arrested and charged with an inappropriate sexual contact with a person under the age of 17. Democratic Party leader from Victoria County, Texas, Stephen Jabbour, pled guilty to possession and receiving over 500,000 child pornographic images. Democratic activist and fundraiser Terrence Bean, arrested on charges of sodomy and sexual abuse in a case involving a 15-year-old boy. When the alleged victim declined to testify, the judge dismissed the case. Democratic Party chairman for Davidson County, Tennessee, Rodney Mullen, resigned amid child pornography allegations. Democratic activist Andrew Douglas Reed pled guilty to multiple counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor and producing child pornography. Democratic official for Terre Haute, Indiana, David Roberts was sentenced to federal prison for producing and possessing child pornography, including placing hidden cameras in bedrooms and bathrooms at a home he shared with 2 minor female victims. Democratic California Congressman Tony Candias is being sued in L.A. County for allegedly sexually abusing a 16-year-old girl. Democratic aide to Senator Barbara Boxer, Jeff Rosato, pled guilty to charges of trading in child pornography. Democrat Alaskan State Representative Dean Westlake resigned from his seat after the media published a report alleging he fathered a child with a 16-year-old girl when he was 28. Democratic New Jersey State Assemblyman Neil Cohen, Jew, was convicted of possession and distribution of child pornography. Republican Tim Nolan, chairman of Donald Trump's presidential campaign in Kentucky, pled guilty to child trafficking, and on February 11, 2018, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Republican State Senator Ralph Shorty was indicted on 4 counts of human trafficking and child pornography. In November 2017, he pled guilty to 1 count of child sex trafficking in exchange for the dropping of the other charges. Republican anti-abortion activist Howard Scott Heldreth is a convicted child rapist in Florida. Republican County Commissioner David Swartz pled guilty to molesting 2 girls under the age of 11, and he was sentenced to 8 years in prison. Republican Judge Mark, I don't even fucking know how to say that name.
Posionic? You know?
I mean, if you guys want the list, I guess just hit me up and I'll copy and paste it, but it's just a constant list that continues on and on and on and on.
Yeah,
and on.
I mean, I'm not trying to...
And it's not just Democrats, it's Republicans.
I think they get the idea, though. You know what I mean?
So we're done then. I get it where I can.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a good message. Thank you, Skylar.
Yes, thank you so much. It's not that I don't hate pedophiles. I do, in fact, hate pedophiles.
You can only get so much in hate.
But if you guys do want the full list, just email us. We'll send it to you.
Send it to you. There's a bunch of motherfuckers.
All right. I think that about wraps it up for us.
I'd say so.
We'd like to thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. You know, there's lots of ways to get a hold of us.
bonesandtubs@gmail.com for the long form.
You can always hit us up on the Instagram DMs.
Instagram.com/bonesandtubs.
Hit us up on Facebook if you want.
Facebook.com/bonesandtubs. Might take a little bit longer because it's an abortion to get through.
If you want to send us your patronage.
Patreon.com/bonesandtubs if you want to support the show.
Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, also options.
All those things. We're also, go to our Instagram, check out the link in our bio, and you can buy merch, t-shirts, cups, wall art.
TeePublic. Yeah.
Cup, coffee cups.
Yeah.
Anything you could imagine. Shirts for toddlers, shirts for babies, hats.
Yeah.
All those things.
You have to thank Blood the Brave for letting us use his music on the show.
BloodoftheBrave.com, Blood of the Brave on all the socials. Check him out, buy his music. Learn something from his anarchy music.
Also like to thank JNY5
for that art, though.
Yeah, always premium.
Check out the show art. We'll see his skill set. You can check him out on JNY5 Internet Studios on Instagram and that name boy.
Yes. We'd like to thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you all stay safe, and we hope to see you next time.
We love you.
We really do.
The bad thing about being honest, the straightforward, and doing that is people know where you stand, and they try to take advantage of you. They take advantage of your good nature. They take advantage of the fact that they know that you're a good guy, you are a straight shooter, and that you're not going to retaliate on them when they fuck you. Well, folks, most of the time I believe that's probably true. But God built me to be here to prove to you that what you have been doing for God knows how many years is wrong. You picked on the wrong man. I'm not tough.
You hear that?
I'm not that strong.
Yeah. They rolled up in all black, windows half cracked, scoping out the scene before they attack. Had they on bad guys in most people's eyes. Most trust them with their life cause they got a badge and tie. Gifted a position given to them by a system that set it all up to put the kids into prison. This is non-fiction, non-violence, so just listen. They got a mission to imprison your mind and soul. This ain't nothing new, but we still buy what we're sold. And don't believe in ourselves, but believe what we're told. And we're all molded by a machine that gets in your dreams. It can get in your gut and keep your self-esteem. And I've been scolded and told who I should be, but I'll never conform. I was born to be free. It's a setup, I never let up. From the cradle to the grave, they got you in the cage. It's a setup, so keep your head up, cause they're selling all that doubt with every word at the mouth. It's a setup, and never let up. From the cradle to the grave, they got you in the cage. It's a setup, so keep your head up. Cause it's selling all that doubt with every word at the mouth. Giving numbers of birth, yeah, that's a fact. Deny it if you want, but I'll do the math. I face facts and understand how to overstand the plan with my mind intact. And I got more than a plan, I got hope and belief, dreams and faith, and know damn well that's what they want to take. It's a weapon, fear is aggression, and they plant it in our minds to the point we can't find a way out, a way in. And anywhere you go, you'll see a many men over there and everywhere. They're armed and prepared to do whatever it takes. They don't play fair, that's a jump out boys with the plastic toys draped in all black, ready to bring the noise. A setup, and never let up. From the cradle to the grave, they got you in the cage. It's a setup, so keep your head up. Cause it's selling all that doubt with every word at the mouth. It's a setup, and never let up. From the cradle to the grave, they got you in the cage. It's a setup, so keep your head up. Cause it's selling all that doubt with every word at the mouth.